Injustice on Nintendo Switch, that would be a dream come true for a lot of fans, and it may not be as crazy of a prospect as initially thought. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and recently, GameSpot spoke to Ed Boon, the creative director of NetherRealm Studios, at the Brazil Game Show, and he was pretty pumped about the Nintendo Switch. He has some interesting quotes here, and this was more than just a no comment or a maybe, so we figured it would be fun to share, especially given the extreme popularity and the extreme, I think, critical success of NetherRealm's recent fighters.
For sure, and so much of it is telling, not just when it comes to Injustice, but just development in general towards a Switch, and maybe how other developers might perceive it.
Absolutely. So it starts off a little more on the downside of things before Ed brings it back up. But Boone starts off by saying, yeah, I think at the end of the day, you can make almost any game. There are inevitable compromises, but you can make some version of Injustice on the Atari 2600. It's not going to be great, but I bet you can make something. So obviously, he doesn't view the Switch as an Atari, but he is saying that, like, okay, yeah, you can bring a game in a ported version to any platform. But then he gets more granular about the Switch. And he says, yeah, actually I do. When asked about interest in developing for the Switch, he says it's a pretty different hardware architecture. It's not like you can go from a PlayStation 4 to a Switch really easily. So I think we would need to set up something in terms of an external team. I know on the art team we have enough people to do 3 console SKUs, and that would be something we need to work out. From the game player's perspective, would it be fun to play Injustice on Switch? I do think it would. You could have tournaments, everyone comes over with their own system, and you can have whole structured tournaments and parallel gameplay and all of that. And it's also interesting to note that earlier, Ed Boon posted a poll on Twitter asking if fans would prefer a Switch or Vita version of Injustice. Now, nothing official came of that, but Switch definitely won out in that clash. And now with Ed talking about doing some Switch work and the interest there, isn't Injustice 2 Game of the Year edition in the cards for Nintendo Switch?
I feel like it's inevitable, right? Just because the way he's speaking about it, like, it's filled with, like, you can almost hear the passion. He's like, you could have tournaments and everyone comes over with their own system and you can have a whole structured tournament. Like, he's obviously put thought into it, right? And I feel with, like, someone like Ed Boon, he doesn't, like, go around putting thought into things that he's not going to make. Like, he's such a busy guy. So I totally feel like this is something that could happen, like, honestly.
Absolutely, and I think it'd be a fantastic fit. More fighters on Switch is a good thing, and Injustice is great. I feel like it would really appeal to the audience, probably better than Mortal Kombat, although, hey, they're doing Doom, they're doing Wolfenstein 2, they're doing Skyrim. Bring over a little MK action as well. But if it happened, yes, it would have lesser graphics, but if the gameplay was there, if the speed was there, I think that's sort of the critical aspect. Can you hit a frame rate that makes this still competitive? He talks about tournaments and things of that sort. You're going to want to have that fluid fighting on Switch, otherwise it's going to seem like an afterthought.
And it seems like fighting games might be easier, right? Like, you don't have to worry about, like, as much, like, environmental stuff, even though Injustice does have, like, environmental like transitions, and you can, like, attack with the environment in certain aspects. Like, there is a lot there as opposed to, like, Street Fighter, for instance. Even though Street Fighter environments are cool in their own right, like, I feel like you can get it done. Like, it's not like it's this, like, big open world or anything. So I do hope we get to see Injustice on Switch. Like, if it happens, it'll be, way later than the other consoles, obviously. So then it just becomes like, hey, is there, like, an audience that doesn't already have the game on another platform that might want it on Switch? And I'm sure there will. A lot of people are going to be getting the Switch this holiday, so if they keep their expectations at bay, I don't see why Injustice 2 can't, like, become a hit on Switch.
Absolutely, and I think a fighter like that is a perfect double dip, even if you do have it on another platform. And being able to play that campaign on the go individually would be awesome. Being able to play some of the challenge modes would be fantastic. And then, like he mentions, local multiplayer fights, local tournaments would all be very cool. How pumped are you about the prospect of Injustice 2 hitting Switch? We've already seen it win the Twitter poll. It seems like the system is winning over Ed Boon. Can it win over the entire studio and make this port happen? We've got our fingers crossed here at Switchforce, and we'll keep you updated if anything new develops. In the meantime, though, let us know your take in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. We love you. And until next time, for myself and Gabe, Switchforce out.